leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. He's back. You know what? You know a movie that's from? Guess I'm here talking to myself again. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I tried to say it in the tenor of a friend of mine's daughter who mocks me terribly. Just so offended. But I'm over it. And yeah, so I'm torn between what I want to talk about because both of them I think have equal footing. But I think what I'm going to do is talk about what I really want to talk about later. And right now I'm going to address something that I saw that kind of made me wonder, like, what is that? And so I was reading an article that said, WNBA champs defiant message after suggesting U.S. put focus on profit and money over people. This is Natasha Cloud. She's been known to, speak out about stuff that she likes or doesn't like or whatever. Natasha Cloud, WNBA champion guard who currently plays for the Connecticut Sun, fired off a defiant message on social media following her suggestion that the U.S. has focused on profit over people many times. Cloud made the remarks in an interview with the Associated Press and defended programs that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. Amid criticism over her words, Cloud didn't appear to waver, which I guess you wouldn't expect someone to. There's a quote that says, "The thing is, I'm not soft in words. Don't hurt me, LOL. Are we five? It still remains people over profit. She wrote on X, if y'all truly about being unbiased, Google search any overseas media coverage on what's happening in America. Then come back to me and tell me the whole world is crazy. Well, first of all, we don't set ourselves based on how other people see us. That's one. Number two, DEI programs were just that, programs and policies. They weren't law. Number three, because race was taken out of the need for affirmative action, didn't remove affirmative action. Because clearly women, white women, are doing just well with it. So part of me wonders how a woman who can be playing for the WNBA and I understand that WNBA players don't make a lot of money, but many of them have endorsements that makes them some money that's over the base salary. So what I'm missing is, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and give your money away to people that you think should have it? Because we live in America, where you have a freedom of speech. For all intent and purpose, we say it, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Have a way to search for and pursue your own happiness. Are there instances where people stop you? Yes, but it's not every instance. So stop making that applicable to everybody. Everybody can come up with instances why people won, and you can come up with multiple instances as to why people lost. The question is, what is it for you? Number two, are we going to listen to a WNBA player any more so than an NBA player about what they think about anything? Not as a negative any more so than you would listen to me, because this is news and information, but it's also entertainment. And that's why I go after things that bother me about what people do, and they might be elected. But I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, who I'm going to vote for, why I'm going to vote for them. That's nobody's business. That's private. And whether you agree or not is completely irrelevant, because you have your opinion and I have mine. And so Natasha Cloud has her opinion. I get it. But for you to be making money using the system where you're saying the system doesn't use its money for the people, then why don't you use your money for the people? Release the money that you've given to nonprofits, churches, whatever, to help your people. Number one. Well, I guess that was number two. Number three, who cares what the world thinks about America? That's a generational thing, because you care about people who don't care about you, and all they want to do is take your money. All they want you to do is pay more. All they want you to do is pay your money to their country, but they don't want to pay their money to yours. So the fact that we sit here and argue about tariffs and the markets, oh, the market's going down, because you allowed other people to make money off of you and make you pay more, but they didn't have to. And it's like you're okay with that. Well, they'll like us. Nobody cares about any overseas media coverage about what's happening in America. Nobody cares, because one, they don't live here. They don't work here. They don't pay bills here. They don't pay taxes here. And nobody's unbiased. Nobody is going to say they're not, and I know people will disagree, they're not racist. It's garbage. Everybody's racist. Everybody, I was about to say everybody's garbage. Everybody is prejudiced, and that's just how life is. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll get to know people and get to know them on a deeper level and get along with them and recognize the differences and be done. And when people don't like your differences, you won't care. doesn't make any sense to me. But yet, it's important for athletes to speak out now more than ever, as Trump ended government DEI programs and corporations followed suit. Okay. The systems of power are working, these are her quotes, as they always were intended to, and it's time to break down a system that has only been about white men. Then build your own system, take your own stuff, spend your money within our community, and be done. But then I'm going to start asking you, where'd you buy your shoes? Where'd you buy your socks? Where'd you buy your underwear? Where'd you buy your hat? Where were your uniforms made? Where'd you go get the tattoo art? Like all that, you do what's comfortable for you. That's what people do. So then to call somebody out who's clearly in the power majority because they control the money, they do what they do, why are you mad instead of countering it? You know, countering something isn't telling people what they're doing is wrong and they should stop. Countering it is avoiding it, replacing it, building your own, and having your own. So in all the drama you spent trying to talk about other people and Donald Trump and DEI and corporations about policies that you never had control over anyway, and you can't sue to have somebody change a policy that wasn't a law. I mean, you can. Not that they're going to win. She said, I understand the business aspect. I understand the human aspect. Too often, this country has put the human aspect aside and put profit and money over people. Give me some examples. Because I know it's been done, but give me some concrete examples. Because if you can call out Americans to speak out against the high cost of living in the U.S., but you didn't call that out under the former president when the cost was even higher, that's the problem. Be consistent with what you say. If you're going to complain that you don't like something under this president, if it occurred under the same president, I expect you to complain. You can't take 4, 5, 6 weeks into a presidency and complain that prices are too high when you went 4 years and the prices were too high and you never said anything. Didn't peep. Said the economy was great. I'm not talking about Biden versus Trump. I'm talking about the hypocrisy that people have pretending like 4 years didn't happen. And it's unfortunate because in the end, the fact that you're in America, if you really, really, really believed what you said, go move to a socialist or communist country, see how far that goes. Go see how far that goes. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't think it'll go far. I think it'll be a nice talk, and they'll smile and shake their head. But you know what I really think? Hey, Natasha, Russia's calling.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
You cannot look me in the face and tell me that America is the greatest country in the world when you have people who cannot have access to quality health care.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
We need to change the structure of insurance companies to make them nonprofits so that there's not a profit motive for you to make up your mind as to whether or not you're going to help somebody.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
Donald Trump is out of control, stopping payments for health care and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education, and letting unelected billionaire Elon Musk fire anyone he wants and get access to your most private information. We need a Supreme Court justice who will keep them in check before they go too far. That's Judge Susan Crawford.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I believe in protecting you, your family, and your right to privacy, and that women have the right to make their own decisions about their health care. Because to me, that's just common sense.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk are both backing Brad Schimmel. He'll do whatever they want. That's why we need Judge Susan Crawford, the common sense judge who will keep them in check. Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin. Crawford for WI.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League is celebrating 105 years of legacy and impact. The 105th year milestone community engagement campaign is a mission-driven effort to support employment, education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Together, they can continue their impact and legacy. Join them in raising $1.5 million. Text 105 to 41444 to make a secure online donation today. Visit TMU.org for more information.
Make history at the amazing 10th annual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball on March 29th. Join Mayor Cavalier Johnson for an unforgettable evening that will transform lives. Every dollar raised helps promising local students achieve their college dreams through vital scholarships. This premier gala doesn't just celebrate our community, it builds future leaders. Be a part of Milwaukee's most meaningful social event of the year. Reserve your place now at uncf.org/MMB. That is uncf.org/MMB.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. All right, so I was a little steamed. Okay, I was kind of a little bothered by that. That didn't make any sense to me. Yeah. And I say the same thing about me. Giving an opinion is one thing. Criticism, things of that nature, right? Everybody's entitled to how they feel and what they believe. And so when you try to correct somebody on what you think they should have said or done, is a problem with you. Well, I didn't like what you said and how you said it. Okay, but I need to check with me first. What is it about what they said that bothers me? Because if they said it, I don't have a right to change what they say or change what they think at all. Too bad. But then when you do that to someone else, they get upset. What do you expect a person to do when you tell them, something like what I'm saying to Natasha? I mean, she'll be like, she probably wouldn't even care. Who's this guy? Some dude from Milwaukee? Yeah. And that's okay. But on the flip side, why do I care what she says? I don't. Nice. It's cute. I'm not bashing her. But I think it's ironic, the fact that you're literally in a capitalist system playing basketball. Of all the things you could do in the world to make money, you do something you love to do. You play basketball. I know it's difficult and it's a skill sport, and I don't have it. I don't begrudge you or any of the money you make. But don't complain about what other people do when we have no proof that you're even doing it. That's all. But I get it. Sort of. 833-212-1017 is the number. Did you watch the Oscars last night? Did anybody watch the Oscars last night? I don't know nobody. Fonz said, if Donald Trump became a full Democrat, then they would forget they hated him and praise him. Well, I don't know if you can say that because before he became a Republican, he was a Democrat, and they loved him and praised him. People do what is politically expedient and financially expedient for them. And if we don't understand that about other people, then we don't understand it about ourselves. Like, I just don't understand why people don't understand that about themselves. I do. I'm from a generation where money is a significant motivator of what I do. I don't lie about it. I don't try to pretend. If they ask me yeah, I'll put up with a little discomfort, but it comes down to how much are you paying me? And is what I get personally, does it exceed what you're paying? You know what I mean? Like the stress of what you're paying me and what I'm going through. If there's not enough friction to stop me from doing it and I get paid, I'm good. But when there's friction and drama and talking crazy, and I don't have to put up with that. Like there's no amount of money you're going to pay me that's going to make me put up with some things. I will walk away from anything if it's not right for me. And the cool thing about it is no one else gets to say what's right for me. But some reason we think we're supposed to do that. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017. You can give me a call or hit me on the talk and text. I'm just confused why we think we can tell someone else something and they're supposed to change, but we never do. Like, how do you do that? I got some stories coming up in the top 5 at 5 that look at I think you should. Well, why don't you do it? You're too busy telling everybody else what they should do with their money and their life. Well, what are you doing with yours? Or is it the old adage, those who can't teach? Because I teach what I did. But not everybody does that. And I hear people say that about a lot of sports coaches, right? They weren't good players, but they made great coaches. I don't know. It's kind of insulting, you know. For me, it's kind of like, ooh, that's kind of mean. But again, at some point, we just need to recognize that in the end, we're responsible for us. And we shouldn't be trying to get other people to change themselves to make us feel good. I don't understand why people do that. Can y'all help me? Can somebody tell me why that happens? I just don't understand that. Why other people feel like they need to tell somebody else, well, I don't like the way you said it and what you said. Okay, well, I don't really care if you don't like it. I'm just, you know, I can appreciate you telling me, but I'm not going to like retract my statement or say I'm sorry about saying something that I actually believe. Like, what is that? And if you're adult enough, you'll go, okay, I totally disagree, but that's okay. I don't get it. We're supposed to just roll over. Oh, okay, whatever you say. No. There's a number that you would have to pay me in order for me to do that. And I haven't met anybody here in Milwaukee that's going to pay me that number. So I don't really think. Like for some of the things that athletes go through to get paid that number, I wouldn't go through that number. Like, why are people freaking out about, what's that quarterback's name that used to play for the Green Bay Packers and then he went to New York? What's that guy's name? Brett Favre? I'm just kidding. It's not Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers, right? Who cares what it? Oh, well, we'll see. That caught Aaron Rodgers. We'll see where he's going to go. Well, who cares where he goes? You make $50 million in a year. Why do you even have to work the next year? Like, I just don't understand. That's just me. I'm okay with about $38 million in a year. But when you make 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 million year after year after year after year after year, I'm like, And you're not doing anything? I want to see who you gave to, what projects you've set up, have you given back, not just the ubiquitous giving back to your community, but what have you actually done? Not setting up things that'll just feed people, but set up things so that the people that need feeding can get training and get jobs so that you don't have to feed them anymore. That's an end goal. Just doing stuff to do stuff makes no sense to me. It's just a waste of time and energy. We're just blowing smoke. So if you play football or basketball or baseball and you get paid a lot of money, I don't know if I would go through that much if I had that skill that long. I just wouldn't. I am not putting myself through that much stuff, because I remember that other word you can't say on the radio. I just wouldn't. Absolutely not. That's too much. Because I know my limits. I know what I'm skilled at. I know what I'm terrible at. And that's okay. And I'm perfectly okay with it. I don't think other people know that. Or if you say or do something that other people don't like, they believe that they can actually come to you and tell you, and you should actually change. And so I ask people, what is it we're going to get out of this conversation? Because I'm not changing. I'm not retracting anything I said. I'm not retracting anything I did. What are we doing? Me knowing that isn't going to change me in the least. I'm at an age now where like 95% of me, that ain't changing. It's staying the same. Right? I don't know. I'm confused. 8332, well, I know you'll say I'm confused anyway. 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, I'm going to talk about one of my favoriteest, got to clear my throat, one of my favoriteest actresses who won an Oscar. So, ladies, I know y'all going to get upset. I know y'all going to get mad that my boo thing won, but, you know, that's all she is in pictures. But yeah, she won, and I'm like, so if you need to turn the radio off right now, goodbye. You need to turn the radio off, because I'm going to be talking about my girl who won an Oscar. But first, here's Debbie Loziger with traffic.
Westbound 94, you're seeing delays coming out of the Marquette all the way to about Hawley Road. Eastbound just a little bit tight right in the stadium interchange. Northbound 43, that's backing up from about Kilbourne all the way up past North Avenue. Southbound 43 is looking actually pretty good. Maybe tightening up a bit, getting over the high-rise bridge. But overall, we're looking pretty good. Other than that, everything else is moving smoothly. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, scattered showers, mild with a low of 40. Tomorrow, scattered rain, isolated thunderstorms, steady rain later on, a high of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziger on 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that, because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive On collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that, because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. March is officially here, and so is college basketball, as the 11th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers dropped a tough one on Sunday. This one to Michigan State, 71-62. That loss dropping the Badgers to an overall record of 22-8. Over to the NFL, where the offseason is underway in Green Bay, and it might be a different one than years past in Titletown. ESPN's Rob Demoski explains.
It would be out of character, big surprise, but as he said in his wrap-up press conference, it's time we start competing for championships, and maybe he feels like he's got to adjust his philosophy a little bit too.
ESPN's Rob Demoski talking about Packers GM Brian Gutekunst. And lastly, we'll head over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks have signed forward Pete Nance to a two-way contract. Nance has appeared in 15 career NBA games with Philadelphia and Charlotte. Bucks are back in action tomorrow night in Atlanta. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm not a shy little girl, I'm a wizard. With a pearl in my hand, with a heavy dose of adrenaline, call me a chemical man. Shy girl, I'm a wizard. Do I have to say it again? I'm like a mystic stuck on a gumball. Decorate me with the stars. Yeah, I wanna fly. Desolate space in my body. Yeah, I wonder why.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Now, I know we was talking about basketball players and all that other stuff and entertainment and why we shouldn't listen to them and all that, right? But you should listen to me right now, because we're calling all Black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. And if you're looking to share your story and grow your reach, well, we got an idea for you. We've teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business give back. In each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and their journey on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. So to sign up, your business spotlight interview, your very own, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. Now, also before the break, and thank you, Debbie Lizica, for traffic. And my girl, yes, I'm claiming her, even though she ain't my girl, Zoe Saldana. Now, if you haven't seen her in her, I forget what network is on, this show she plays about the CIA, woo, Lord. Anyway, earned her first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in Emilia Perez, capping an already accomplished awards season on Sunday. Mommy, a tearful Saldana said, "My mom is here, my whole family is here. I'm floored by this honor. Thank you to the Academy for recognizing the quiet heroism and power of a woman like Rita, and talking about powerful women, my fellow nominees, the love, the community that you've offered me is a true gift, and I will pay it forward." She accepted the award from the reigning winner of the category, Divine Joy Randolph. The wins add to a collection of successes for the star on the award circuit. Saldana won her first Golden Globe in January and notched wins at the British Academy of Film Arts and the Critics' Choice Awards and the Screen Actors Guild Award. She said, "My grandmother came to the country in 1961. I'm the proud child of immigrant parents with dreams and dignity and hard work, working hands," Saldana said, "and I am the first American of Dominican origin to accept an Academy Award, and I know I will not be the last." Saldana, a frontrunner in the category, was among a roster of actors nominated for the first time. Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande in Wicked, and Isabella Rossellini, which that's one of my favorite actresses, in Conclave. Felicity Jones, nominated for her role in The Brutalist, was previously nominated in 2015. Yep. Zoe Saldana. So she's a great actress, and I just find it interesting because I guess the Oscars are one of those places where you win because you won. You didn't win because people thought you should, or there was some decision by people, or So for me, I thought it was great. If you ever, if you want to see a TV show that is absolutely off the chain, you got to watch Lioness. Special Ops Lioness. Zoe Saldana is in this series. I'm telling you, I thought season 1 was going to be like, I don't know if we're going to get a better season than, I don't really there are a couple shows on TV. And if you get any comments, 833-212-1017 is the number. There's some series on TV, some movies where you think, if they make another one, I don't think it's going to be better than this. There's really no room to stretch this out or do it. Usually when that happens, there's a 3 or 4 season arc of the entire, everything that happens across 3 or 4 seasons. And so I think that's what they did with Special Ops Lioness. She plays, I really can't say, because if I tell it, then it's on Paramount Plus. It got renewed for a second season, so I watched the second season, and it is phenomenal. It is absolutely outstanding. Now, am I saying that because, it's Zoe? No, I'm not. It is an absolutely phenomenal show. There's another show that I need to put y'all on call. I'm not going to say. I'm going to wait till y'all come back from the break later. But there's another show with a black male actor who plays a Secret Service agent. That's outstanding, that y'all need to watch as well. And so there's just some shows coming on. And I don't think any of these shows are here because of DEI. They're here because they want to make money. And these people have star power. Now, what I'm scared about is, will she be coming back to Lioness for another season after she won an Academy Award? Because I'm going to tell you, this was phenomenal. It was great. I'm telling you, Lioness, like everybody that I told about it. First of all, if you watch it, you have to clear a weekend and just watch. I think it's 10 in the series. So there's a total of 20. You're just going to have to do the whole thing. Because once you start watching it, you're going to. Now, some of the storyline, I was a little tired of. It was a little old. You know, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it because it was Zoe Saldana. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to just put it out there. And if I get in trouble, I'll just be in trouble. But it's Zoe. By the way, are there any actresses or actors that make you, like, you would lose your, like, beep? Like, I've actually seen, no, I'm not going to say that because I'll get in trouble. I've seen other people see other people, and like I know that if that person approached them, they would be gone. They'd be like, "Hey, used to know you. I'm out." Like, yep. Like their dream person. I don't have that with anybody. I like Zoe Saldana. I like other people, but I don't like for me to blow my life up for an actress. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, not in the least. Like, And so, once again, the YouTube chat is doing the weird thing. All the old chats are starting to come in. And it's talking about stuff like children going crazy, people don't care about, but yeah, so that's like that's probably from what, Friday or Thursday. So anyway, yeah, that's how the day is gonna be. It's Monday. Just deal with it. Is it warm here yet? Is it warm? Usually when I go places or do something, it gets warm, or when I just take off, it gets warm. It didn't get warm. It actually got colder. I don't really understand that. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to be doing that. Don't tell anybody, but we're going to be doing the Gruber thing in the 5 o'clock hour, so make sure you listen. It'll be somewhere after my top 5 at 5, so make sure you hang out, listen for that.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
And Joe Biden wasn't very controversial. He wasn't. Now, he might have done some things in his long, storied past, but if you all have been in the same line of work for 46 years, you probably have done some questionable things too. Joe Biden was a safe choice. He was a level of common sense. He was a level of stability. He was a familiar political commodity. Democrats don't have that right now. Democrats are caught with their pants completely down.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, somebody put in the talking text line. You know, I would talk about it, but then I'm going to just read it. And yes, I was talking about paradise. I just didn't want to say it, make you try to look it up. They say it's Saldana, and then they laughed. Ha, 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 ha. That's what DB did. So, if you look at Zoe's name, Saldana. If you look over the N, in Spanish, it's called a tilde. If you look at your keyboard, top left, first thing, if you hit caps, hit shift and hit that's a tilde, the little squiggly line over an N. That is also called a Enya, right? It's an accent mark. E, Enya, E. So it's pronounced Enye. If you use it in Spanish, her name is Zoe Saldana because she has a after the N. So it adds a E-N-Y-E to the name. So S-A-L-A-N with the squiggly mark, with the tilde. A is Saldana, not Saldana. Just helping you out. If you want to argue, don't argue with me. Go to the diversity style sheet. Go to any Spanish. You know, it might be off a little bit, but for the most part, that is what it is. So her name is not Saldana. It's Saldana. If you want to fight, I think she said her mama was here, her grandmother in 19 came over here. Y'all can go fight with them. All right? Yeah, this is so far, the chat is so far behind. It's got some stuff coming up that is like really weird. 833-212-1017 is the number. And so I don't know what you're sending me. I don't really like, yeah. But anyway. Boom, let me go to my next. Because, you know, some people take you off your game and then you start getting all, you know, into all that. By the way, from thegrio.com, I came across a story that talked about over 3,000 beauty and hair products marketed to black women are toxic, a new study finds. Do your tried or trues make the cut? Well, latest consumer reports on products marketed to black women come back with disappointing results across the board. But isn't that all women? I mean, I'm not dismissing it, but a new study by the Environmental Work Group in collaboration with the Black-founded all-natural online marketplace, Black Plus Green, BLK Plus GRN, has found that over 3,000 or nearly 80% of personal care items marked toward black women contain at least one toxic ingredient. Isn't that pretty much everything we eat, drink, and do? Like, the water isn't even 100% pure. Like, when we use hand sanitizer, it's only 99% effective. I think most people believing if something made it into the store, it must be safe, and that's just not true. Black and Green founder Kristen Edwards said in a recent video about the report, and EWG senior scientist Alexa Friedman told the Griot over email, in order to produce this latest report, the public health advocacy group conducted in-store data collection and online research from December 2023 through August of 2024, worked alongside Black and Green to identify 4,011 products marketed to black women containing toxic chemicals. They highlighted some of the most harmful ingredients included formaldehyde releasers, isothiazolinones, I can't really say that, and undisclosed fragrances. She explained that formaldehyde-releasing preservatives can cause skin reactions and ultimately expose consumers to formaldehyde, a carcinogen. Meanwhile, undisclosed fragrances, Friedman noted, can be any of 300 different potential hazardous ingredients with cancer and reproductive health concerns, and products with semi-permanent results like relaxers and hair dye, remain of high concern. So again, what does that even mean? Like, I don't understand what all this means, because pretty much everything we have causes something. And so at some point, my question becomes, to what level does this interfere? Right? Like, okay, you say that it has these things, but to what point? Yes, it's potentially cancer causing, but how much of it do you need? It's like when we go back to the red dye number 2. Oh, red dye number 2 can cause this, and people, no. What was it? What's the red pill that you take when you have a cold and all? I can't remember the name of it. It's a little red one. And everybody said now when you go to the doctor or when you go get a prescription, you gotta give them your driver's license, and they gotta take a picture of it and all this other stuff. But if they actually told you how much of this you needed in order to make the drug, you would be like, okay, so why are you doing this again? You know how much of this stuff you need in order to use it illegally? So it's nice that they put this out, but to what end? To what end? That's what I want to know. Like, pick a couple of these and say you have to use how much of it in order for it to start to have an effect on you. Because it sounds like there's an excess issue, right? Any food can be good and any food can be not harmful. It may not add anything to you, but it may not be harmful until what? Until it's done in excess. That's why eating is good, gluttony is not. And so if you eat a good food too much, it's going to have an adverse effect. So which of these products are we using? And because each one still contains one toxic ingredient, okay, so what about everything else? What about food? What about drugs? What about, use of a computer on your eyes? The wearing of eyeglasses. Like, there's got to be some negatives to that. It's almost like we're trying to find a cause that's not really there. We're trying to create one. And I get it. But my thing is also, where's the list? Y'all talked about this list, but I'm not seeing the list. Where's the list? And so what do you want? To what end? Do you want people to not use it? Do you want do you want women to give up? And the fact that it's from somewhere that says they want to promote natural, I think it's a little disingenuous to come from the Environmental Working Group in collaboration with the Black-founded all-natural online marketplace, Black and Green. Your point is for people not to use that and to go natural, And one of the ways to say it is by saying that they have at least one toxic ingredient. You should go natural, and I got a marketplace. I'm not saying that's what they're doing. And I got a marketplace. So it's a little self-serving, I think. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017. Is it a little self-serving to come out with a survey that you collaborate with that supports what you do? Hey, we got a survey. We think the best place for you to listen is 1017 The Truth, and here's why. Well, you did the survey amongst people who listen to The Truth, right? Yeah. Did you go to people that listen to another station? Did you go to people that were non-black? Did you go, like, it seems a little self-serving. 80% of personal care items marked toward black women contain at least one toxic ingredient. That's the food we eat. Right? I like crackers. Crackers will calm down my stomach. Yeah, but they also have salt in them, which might give you high blood pressure. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. Just seems a little like self-serving when you do a study for yourself. You know? When you do a study for yourself. And then you're the one. Last time I saw that, and I only got about a minute or so. Last time I saw that was when the CDC put out a study on AIDS. And this was back in the day, back in the 90s. And they put out a study that and I wish I could remember the book. They put out a study that basically said 50% of all black men are leading a double life and that they're bisexual and they could get AIDS, and that's why we got to do this. And I'm like, wait, what? We're using black men as the reason that we got to get AIDS research and money and this and that? And I said, well, who did the study? And it was funded by the CDC. And then there was another company that funded it with them that basically sold the drug. And I'm like, come on. Self-serving. Self-serving. And so we ran into the same thing with COVID. We ran into the same thing. So there's this thing that we need to take a step back. Is there any place out there that's unbiased? Is there any place out there that's unbiased that actually will step up and show you information that's clear and unbiased? Fortunately, I don't think so. Well, did I say fortunately or unfortunately? I meant unfortunately. But maybe that was a Freudian slip. Maybe we do need people that'll step up and take their place and speak up for what they believe in. So either way, be careful. Hey, you're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 at 5 up next.
You cannot look me in the face and tell me that America is the greatest country in the world when you have people who cannot have access to quality health care.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
We need to change the structure of insurance companies to make them nonprofits so that there's not a profit motive for you to make up your mind as to whether or not you're going to help somebody.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and see this wonderful smile live every day.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at
the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, I'm kind of catching a cold, and I hate, like, it's cold, but it's not cold. And I hate when it's like that. Like, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's not. I just get kind of like, ooh. And I don't like this kind of weather because it's just cold enough where you need to wear something, but it's kind of okay. So you seemingly think everything's okay, and then it's not. And then you get sick. And you're like, and then you get that throat. You get that, ooh, I was clicking through the tab. Look at Zoe Saldana. Okay, anyway. 833-212-1017 is the number. The only thing I can do
Number 5
is to tell you from CBS 58, a former Marquette employee is accused of stealing $63,500 in rent through a decade-long fraud scheme. How? A former Marquette University employee is facing felony charges after allegedly using his position to avoid paying rent on university-owned housing for nearly a decade. Criminal complaint filed at Milwaukee County Circuit Court accuses 40-year-old Michael Gerard of theft by false representation and computer crimes. Officials allege that between 2014 and 2024, Gerard worked in the Office of Residential Life, using his access to Marquette's housing database to manipulate records, preventing rent from being charged to his account. Interesting. According to the complaint, he altered data to make it appear as if his assigned apartment at Gilman Apartments was unavailable, assigned to staff or closed. Prosecutors say the fraudulent charges resulted in him living rent-free, costing the university around $63,500. Gerard reportedly admitted to making the unauthorized changes, initially claiming a former director had approved the agreement. Marquette spokesperson declined, of course, to answer any questions about Gerard's claims, how the scheme was able to go undetected for so long, and any changes were put back into place to make sure this doesn't happen again. Of course not, because we let Marquette get away with pretty much anything they want. Right? There's some things in Milwaukee that are sacrosanct. Marquette seems to be one of them. I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out the obvious. They seem to be able to cover up what they want to cover up and not cover up what they don't want to cover up. And so why is this just making it out? And why is it only came out after he got charged? But I'm sure somebody said, hey, did you hear this employee is being looked at for, and nothing leaked out. But things leak out about everybody else. Things leak out. So there's some businesses. There are definitely some businesses who, can cause some things to happen or not happen. It can cause somebody to go, I didn't know that. Or it can cause somebody to go, yeah, I could believe that. And so in this instance, it's kind of a, yeah, I can believe that.
Number 4.
This from CBS 58. Mayor Johnson signs a resolution proposing police recruitment incentives. So, Mayor Cavalier Johnson is continuing his efforts to recruit more officers to the Milwaukee Police Department. So last Friday morning at City Hall, he signed a resolution related to the creation and funding of a police recruitment incentive programs. He had previously been part of a similar incentive program, such as recruiting experienced officers from other departments to join MPD. Mayor Johnson says his latest effort will help fulfill the obligation written in the state law to increase the number of officers. Here's my problem with that. Here's my problem. Are you going to get an officer that wants to be here because he wants to be a cop or she wants to be a cop? Or do you have somebody that wants to be here because they're what? Getting paid. And how long they going to stay for the minimum and then they going to jet because they're getting paid? Is that the kind of person you want as a police officer in the city of Milwaukee? I say no. I say no. And where do you put them in the hiring, right? Because you're going to get this drove of people coming into the city, and all of a sudden the numbers are going to be off, and the numbers are going to be switched, and the numbers are going to be different. And all of a sudden you're going to look up, and you're going to find either we got a lot of this race or a lot of that race, and I don't know which. But then what do? When you incentivized it for people to come in, and then they do, will you be happy with who you get? Will you be happy with who you get? I don't know. I don't think we will. That's just me. I don't think we'll be happy with who we get when they only came for the money. They only came for the money. But then again, some of us take jobs, but this is what happens when you take a job for money.
Number 3.
This from FoxNews.com. Federal subpoena, the feds, they subpoenaed Dalton, Illinois records tied to the super mayor Tiffany Henyard's boyfriend. So I've been talking about her ever since. Like, y'all know, I've been talking about federal subpoenas been issued requesting records from the self-proclaimed super mayor Tiffany Henyard and others as authorities pursue a criminal investigation tied to the ousted mayor. The subpoena was signed February 25th, the day Henyard, a Democrat, lost the mayoral primary in Dalton, Illinois, by a landslide. Now, this is the woman that has been doing all this extravagant stuff and spending money and being in charge of stuff and having like whole posses to be in charge of her because evidently she's so important somebody might want to hurt her. And I mean, she's a mayor, and she deserves some type of support, but I think, you know. Anyway, the subpoena is tied to a development project involving land once reportedly owned by Henyard's boyfriend. This is from Fox 32 Chicago. That's what they reported. The summons demanded a number of documents from 2014 until now, copies of citations, code violations, emails, phone calls, text messages, all that stuff. And it also requested correspondence between property owners, tenants, and the Village of Dalton personnel, which included her boyfriend, Kamal Woods. The subpoena is the latest development in an ongoing federal probe into the activities of Henyard while she served as village mayor and township supervisor. One subpoena served in April requested personnel and disciplinary files for almost 30 individuals, and another subpoena requested all documents. So this is what happens when you get somebody who becomes a mayor and loses their mind and decides that they want to, or they can do whatever they want to do. This woman is she was out of control. Completely out of control. Former Mayor Lori Lightfoot, also a Democrat, was hired last year to investigate Henyard's handling of Dalton funds. The people revealed that the village's general fund had diminished from $5.6 million surplus in 2022 to a $3.6 million deficit in 2024, raising concerns about questionable credit card purchases and a lack of financial accountability. She's also been accused of civil rights violations and numerous lawsuits over her alleged corruption. So everybody's going after her. She just lost as mayor. And so now, you know, Lori Lightfoot's report didn't help either. And so now she's out. But this is what can happen when you lose your mind. So we keep talking about it's about, it was about the money. And I guess she found out. So that's what's happening to our super mayor. Is she a super mayor? Yep, she'll super. I wonder, do super mayors wear orange jumpsuits well? I guess you can think of it, orange is the new black. Or maybe orange is black. I don't know.
Number 2.
This from blackenterprise.com. Robert Smith, one of the most prominent, if not the richest, businessman and philanthropist in America, recently reaffirmed his commitment to DEI in contrast to other backlash for DEI in comments he made last February 26th at the Economics Club of New York. According to Fortune magazine, Smith, who's the founder and chairman and CEO of Vista Equity Partners, an investment firm that manages $100 billion in assets, in concert with a vision for a more equitable path to prosperity for more people, laid out his vision for how businesses should operate, even though the political party in power seems to believe that DEI weakens American corporations. He said America should be a place for meritocracy, but not just meritocracy in race, but meritocracy in an opportunity set. He continued noting in his comments that white women held 63% of DEI leadership roles, which is corroborated by a comprehensive 2022 study regarding women in the workplace by McKinsey & Company. You're going to not include them? No, you are. People are just maybe, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, people just may be offended by the way that parts of the program are administered. And according to Smith, companies in most cases will keep hiring the best candidates, which he noted would often also be diverse candidates, due in part to how education has worked to broaden pathways in America. So he said people have now been educated and have opportunities. And so the best people are very diverse now relative to what it may have been 40, 50 years ago when people didn't have access to education and educational opportunities to enable them to be successful in the workplace. But my question is this. Knowing that and moving forward, what types of things are going to be in place that will now inhibit us from being able to have those positions? What's to make them, well, I guess you can't make them consider you, but what's to have them even consider you for a job when their mindset is that because of your race or because of your gender, you're automatically less than? How do you use that, or how do you work around that and espouse meritocracy? Because I don't know if you can do both. It sounds great coming from a guy who's a billionaire, who really has overcome all that because he doesn't have to, because he's rich. And if you're already rich, does it really matter? Well, I don't think it matters. I think that you've become rich enough. You've become rich enough that none of this really affects you, and none of this really drives you to where you want to make change because you're here already. And it's great that you say it, but let's talk to the people who haven't had it, right? Let's talk to the people who are struggling and fighting to become great. But I don't think that'll happen. Matter of fact, I don't think that'll happen at all.
Number 1.
Well, back to Mayor Cavalier Johnson. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson today delivered his State of the City address centered on the theme of a stronger Milwaukee. He made his speech before a packed room at the Baird Center, one of the key sites of the Republican National Convention that last summer put the city in the international spotlight. He highlighted, I don't know why that fit in there, but he highlighted progress in the city and in the issues of crime, reckless driving, and in finances while speaking to the challenges it faces on police recruitment and education. And I read that story earlier. Johnson told those at the gathering that the city, this is from JS Online, by the way, told people at the gathering that the city's strength comes from its economy, culture, and entertainment opportunities, water resources, and its people. Unfortunately, people were last. Anyway, our residents still will sustain Milwaukee's strength. That's been the case for nearly 180 years since our incorporation as a municipality, and it will certainly be the case for the 180 years ahead. Milwaukee's people are strong, and so too is the state of our city. And so here are the 5 takeaways from his speech. He acknowledged service of Milwaukee firefighters, police officers injured in the line of duty. He highlighted a drop in crime and traffic deaths. Both categories dipped 4%. I don't know if I'd be screaming about that. Between 2023 and 2024, homicides reduced 23%, while non-fatal shootings decreased 24%. That's pretty good. He also touched on the drop in deaths on the city streets, where reckless driving has been a year-long problem. Recent road construction projects intended to deter speeding and other reckless driving behaviors have had a positive early results. And then growing Milwaukee housing plan featured in the 2025 State of the City. So I want to know where simple things like the streets and, I don't know, street lights, fire hydrants, stuff like that. Stop signs, stuff like that gets fixed. Because it's great that we're doing all this big stuff. And it's nice. And for the most part, it's good for the city. But what about the infrastructure? What about the streets that are literally crumbling? There were some streets I literally backed down the street. I backed down the street because the street was so rickety and whole, and it was dipped in the middle to the point where I thought if I drive down the street, even though there were cars on the street, my car might fall through. Absolutely not. I'm not driving down the street. This is ridiculous. But yet nobody seems to care. And you can see the layers and the layers of patch they did on the street instead of fixing the street. Now, I know there are capital improvement plans. I get it. I know it says this street gets it in, 2039 and such, and it gets replaced and you build. But some of these streets need the entire street rebuilt. And if we don't do it, somebody's going to get hurt. Unfortunately, somebody elderly or some kids. Because clearly people that are in between there, they don't really care about them. Johnson went on to welcome the new Milwaukee Public School Superintendent and speaks to challenges in the schools. I think the city should have taken over the school a long time ago. But we sit here and we play and we talk about, other people and that's. So it's important to you when it matters and when people complain about it. But it's not important to you when you can't get anything out of it. Make sense? I'm just saying. Makes absolutely no sense to me. But, 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, I got a question. Have you ever thought about moving out of Milwaukee to a suburb? Because every time I do, something happens.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
Donald Trump is out of control, stopping payments for health care and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education, and letting unelected billionaire Elon Musk fire anyone he wants and get access to your most private information. We need a Supreme Court justice who will keep them in check before they go too far. That's Judge Susan Crawford.
I'm Judge Susan Crawford. As a former prosecutor and now as a judge, I believe in protecting you, your family, and your right to privacy, and that women have the right to make their own decisions about their health care. Because to me, that's just common sense.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk are both backing Brad Schimmel. He'll do whatever they want. That's why we need Judge Susan Crawford, the common sense judge who will keep them in check. Judge Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Paid for by Susan Crawford for Wisconsin. Crawford for WI.com.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. From Fox6Now.com, every time I think about moving to the suburbs, I go, yep, I'm going to move to the suburbs. Waukesha death investigation, 2 people found dead in a home. Waukesha County Sheriff's Department on Saturday said the second person was found dead in a Village of Waukesha home after a welfare check prompted a death investigation the previous day. A person of interest is in custody. So you found one, and then you looked, and then you found another one. So Waukesha County Sheriff's Department is conducting a death investigation. Sheriff's Department said 2 people found, and person of interest is in custody. Family identified Donald Mayer and his wife, Tatiana, as the deceased. Sheriff's Department was set a call requesting a welfare check. Came around 9:45 a.m. on Friday. Deputies responded to a home on Cedar Hills Drive, part of a subdivision just south of Genesee Road in the Village of Waukesha, found 1 resident deceased. On Saturday, Fox 6 News found law enforcement was still at the scene. Sheriff's Department later confirmed a second person was found dead inside the home. Person of interest is in custody on separate charges. So what they're saying, the family of 51-year-old Donald Mayer on Saturday identified him and his wife, Tatiana, as the people that they found deceased. Tanya Meyer, Donald's sister, said that the home investigators are focused on is where he lived with his family, including a stepson. Sheriff's Department is not releasing any further details. Okay. Any details about the deceased, including when and where they were found and where they found the second person as well. It's unclear who the person of interest is, what the separate charges are, and where the person was taken into custody. Right? But then there's an update. Why? Because, that was Friday. Update from WISN.com. Waukesha teenager faces felony charges for vehicle theft after police discover his parents' body during a welfare check. But where was he found? In Waukesha? Nah. Milwaukee? Nah. Illinois? Nah. Indiana? Nah. Iowa? Nope. Kansas. Waukesha teen has been charged with felony counts of operating a vehicle without owner's consent and theft of movable property following a welfare check at a Waukesha residence. The welfare check led to the discovery of his parents dead in the home. And they've got, well, who's in custody? Did they say the name? Let me see. Charges arose from an investigation that begins on February 28th when Waukesha County Sheriff's deputies responded to a home on Cedar Hills Drive. And so, So, Nikita Kapsik, Tatiana Kapsik, and Donald Mayer, mother and stepfather to the 17-year-old that was arrested, which is Nikita. Okay. Court records show that the mother was found with a possible exit wound in the back of her right shoulder, and stepfather was an obvious wound to the back of the victim's head. Criminal complaining indicates that Mayer's mother initiated the welfare check after weeks without contact with her son and receiving suspicious or weird text messages, purportedly from him on February 23rd. Mayer's sister last spoke with him on February 18th when he mentioned not feeling unwell and taking a break from social media. Does that even make any sense? Anyway, flock camera data indicated that Donald Myers' 2018 Volkswagen Atlas was last recorded in February 23rd and Tatiana's Capsic's vehicle on February 11th. Deputies inside the residence saw his Capsic's vehicle was present, but Myers' Volkswagen Atlas was not there. They reported seeing his Volkswagen Atlas being driven by Nikita alone on February 23rd, and another neighbor noted the family's small black dog had not been seen either. Cell phone data placed Donald Myers and Nikita Crisp's phones in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Location data showed Nikita Capsic's Casap, C-A-S-A-P, Casap, I don't know. Device leaving Waukesha on the 24th and traveling through multiple states. Police in Walcott, Iowa, confirmed video surveillance from Iowa 80, the world's largest truck stop, showed Myers' Volkswagen Atlas with a single occupant believed to be Nikita and a small black dog. He took the dog with him. Did he kill him over the dog? I don't know. We don't know if he did it, but he's definitely. So what's going on? What's going on? Investigators confirmed the stepfather owned a Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum, which was not found at the residence. Interesting. So, needless to say, every time I think about moving to the suburbs, one of these stories comes in, and I'm not comparing the two places because personally I actually prefer to live in the city. I'm just saying. I prefer to live in the city. But every time I think about it, I don't know if I'm moving to the suburbs. The more I do it, the more I want to stay here. Right here in the city. Because I like it. You can go places, there's noise, there's sound, there's things going on. That's all. I mean, am I being a prude or am I being like uppity? 833-212-1017. I don't know. I mean, I'm still upset at the Michael Gerard thing. Like, why didn't this break when y'all suspend? See, I hate to say it before we go to break, but we can almost tell the company, right, or the place that has juice will not let stories break until the person's charged because it makes them look bad. And so the question you have to ask is, for 10 years, why did Marquette miss $63,500 that somebody wasn't paying, that wasn't, like, were charging themselves or fixing the system, gaming the system so that they didn't have to pay? Can somebody explain that to me? Because for me, that makes sense. 833-212-1017. Should I take Sandra now? Or go to break? I'm going to talk to Sandra now because I ain't been here in a minute. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you, Sandra?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I ain't been here in a minute.
I know. And I didn't see you Friday either.
Yeah, I was out of town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So how was
we
it?
had a good time.
Tell me, how was it Friday? Tell me the truth, because I wasn't
good.
there. Tell me the truth.
It was good. We watched awards and we ate and we had a little drink here and there, and okay. And that's what we did. We talked to everybody, got to know people that hear us on the radio and never saw us. So when you relate the voice to the face,
right,
and you get to see people, and
right.
I got to meet people, so it was good.
Very cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So you ate us out of house.
Either.
So you ate us out of house and home. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I just got a little plate. I got a little plate, but it was nice food, real fresh, and You could crunchy, and it was good.
I don't know how I feel about that. When somebody tells you that their dinner was fresh and crunchy.
It wasn't a dinner. It was appetizers or something like that. Yeah, just to get you going, and that way, if you want to drink a little drink, you had a drink, and like I said, we socialized and met people, and then met people that knew other people that you knew. So it turned out really well.
Okay. So what about the? Did any of the recipients surprise you? Like I nominated Ebony Solly for all the work that she's done in marketing and healthcare and all that stuff. So.
Okay.
Did you see my video?
Yeah.
Did you see my video?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I saw your video.
How was it?
That was Ebony. Was that Ebony?
Yep. So between on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, what would you rate my video?
10.
Oh, you just talking. I would put it at a 7 or 8.
You spoke real well about her. I mean, detail and all. So I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I think I'm just hard on myself. I think that's what it is.
I am too. I do that to myself too. But but it was good. You sat there. I mean, just to sit there and just talk and speak about a person, to me that would be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Without I don't know if you had any papers or something you looked at, or you just did it off your head.
I just did it off my head.
Yeah, that's even harder when you gotta make everything perfect.
Wow.
I was listening.
It wasn't perfect.
It was pretty good because you said, it was nice what you said about her.
Okay.
Mhm. And some people were there that that got awards that deserved it. Yeah, I saw Melanie, White Widow.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wanted to know what she looked like. We saw White Widow.
Maybe she was white and she's a widow. So now we know.
And she's a kind of small lady. I look for her to be a little bit, probably a little
more
heavier, but she's small. Yeah, she's small. Yeah. So we got to see everybody. That's nice, though. We get to meet a lot of people, and I get to be a celebrity and give autographs.
Good.
No, I was just teasing. I was just teasing, Dr. Kid. I don't feel like a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity.
You are.
No.
You are.
Yeah.
What I
think
say?
so?
Yes. People know who you are. You can
I
ask,
don't think so.
you know Sandra? They were like, yep, I know Sandra. Yep, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I look at you as a celebrity. Absolutely. If I got to take it, somebody else got to take it. That means you.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good talking to you.
Talk to you soon. Then I answer your question. Yeah, I answer your question next time I talk to you about moving to the suburbs.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you have something to say about that. All right.
I sure do. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
And when we come back after the break, I want to talk about this tax levy that's really wearing on the city because, there's a PolitiFact. Wisconsin did a check on whether or not MPS has a larger tax levy than the city of Milwaukee. And I try to explain that to people, but when you think about the fact that it's a city, an actual city versus a school district, and when people are complaining about money, there's a reason why people are complaining about money. And now with traffic on 101.7 The Truth, here's Debbie Lazica.
Southbound 43 backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette all the way down to the KK River crossing. Northbound's a bit heavy from Fond du Lac up past North Avenue. Southbound 41, watch for delays from about Hampton down past Capitol Drive, and westbound 94's got a heavy ride basically out of the Marquette all the way to about 35th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, scattered showers, mild with a low of 40. Tomorrow, scattered rain, isolated thunderstorms, steady rain later on with a high of 47. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and like listen. I just want someone to yap to, and I just feel like I'll be fine. Like if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job, and I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it, and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at soundidouttogether.org. That's soundidouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. March is officially here, and so is college basketball as the 11th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers dropped a tough one on Sunday. This one to Michigan State, 71-62. That loss dropping the Badgers to an overall record of 22-8. Over to the NFL, where the offseason is underway in Green Bay, and it might be a different one than years past in Titletown. ESPN's Rob Demoski explains.
It would be out of character, big surprise, but as he said in his wrap-up press conference, it's time we start competing for championships, and maybe he feels like he's got to adjust his philosophy a little bit too.
ESPN's Rob Demoski talking about Packers GM Brian Gutekunst. And lastly, we'll head over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks have signed forward Pete Nance to a 2-way contract. Nance has appeared in 15 career NBA games with Philadelphia and Charlotte. Bucks are back in action tomorrow night in Atlanta. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. Hey. 833-212-1017 is the number you can call. You can talk and text, or you can stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a minute of a live show. I'm just saying. So, before the break, I was talking about... I'll get to that story later. I got so much stuff about the city I want to... Milwaukee Public Schools, this is from JS Online, are making headlines as a judge on February 18th, 2025, you heard about it, said the school board overseeing MPS in the city of Milwaukee must split the cost of school police program down the middle and put police in schools with a deadline of February 27th, according to a February 19th, 2025 Milwaukee Journal Sentinel article. First of all, I think that's trash. I think MPS should be paying it because they're the ones that didn't do it. On deadline day, a judge held the city in contempt of court for failing to comply with his previous order to have school resource officers in Milwaukee Public Schools on February 27th. Circuit Judge David Borowski stayed that order, however, giving the city until March 15th to get the officers in schools or face a $1,000 a day fine. Dude, just fine them. Just give them a fine. You keep doing the same thing. It's the same idiocy that they have at DPI, right? You did wrong, but we're going to give you another break. You did wrong, we're going to give you another break. You did wrong, we're going to give you another. Like, what are we doing? What exactly are we doing? In the run-up to the earlier court decision, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson discussed his January meeting with GOP legislative leaders at the Capitol during a January 12, 2025 appearance on Upfront program on WISN 12 News. Johnson spoke about his support for getting 25 officers and all that stuff. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. He said, well, you have to have the funding in order to get the officers. When you go to a restaurant and you order a meal, the chef doesn't prepare your meal and then pick up the check. That's what MPS is doing. Doesn't prepare your meal and then pick up the check. That's what MPS is doing. I think that's wrong for taxpayers in the city of Milwaukee, especially given the fact that presently, right now, after the referendum, Milwaukee public schools have a larger tax levy than the city of Milwaukee. And so somebody went and checked. I can't believe that. That's not true. But guess what? It's true. They have a larger levy. So, a chart prepared by the... it's not criticism. That's what Jeff Fleming said, you know. A chart prepared by the Office of the City of Milwaukee Comptroller Bill Christensen shows the total citywide tax levies for 2023 at $855.5 million. 2024, it was $963.7, an increase of 12.6%. Milwaukee Public Schools, $320.2 million in 2023, $414.8 million in 2024, an increase of 29.5%. Milwaukee went from $317.7 million in 2023 to $324.2 million in 2024, an increase of 2%. So when you talk about citywide tax levies, Milwaukee Public Schools are jacking the residents of Milwaukee. So if you break down a share into $1, each entity from MPS to MATC. MPS gets 43%, City of Milwaukee 34%. I'm sorry, no, it's not percent, it's cents. So if you had $1 and you had to pay all these tax levies out of the Milwaukee Public Schools, City of Milwaukee, the Milwaukee County, the Sewerage District, and MATC, that all the things we pay for, MPS gets 43 cents of every dollar. City of Milwaukee gets 34 cents of every dollar. Milwaukee County gets 14 cents of every dollar. Sewerage District 5 cents, and MATC 4. Something's out of whack. Something's out of line. The school that we want kids to go to, that we want to keep cheap enough, if in fact free, so that kids can go to school, teachers can get raises, administration can grow, right? Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We give MATC 4 cents out of every dollar to run it. MPS gets 43 cents. Now, granted, MPS is much bigger, or is it? I don't know what the population of MATC is. Regardless, that's a significant 39% swing. I'm sorry, a 39-cent swing in terms of money. So we talk about MPS is important, and they actually want more money, and we've been dumping money in there. Where's it going? Like, why would you need more money? You are a bigger drain on taxpayers in the city of Milwaukee than the city itself. How's that? Who runs a business like that? You almost run MPS like the post office, right? We have a deficit every year, except our deficit is in the intellect of our children. And our children end up with nothing. Everybody else gets paid, get a raise, based on how much time they have and the degree they have, get promoted, get a pension, and leave, and the system is the same. Who does that? And who runs MPS? The board does. The city has zero input on MPS. Zero. So because they make more money, we're supposed to split the cost 50-50? I don't think so. Whatever that percentage of $1 is, that is how much MPS should pay, and that's how much we should pay. And that way, it's not a big deal. If out of $1, MPS is 43%, they pay 43% of that difference. Now, where's the difference from 43 and 34 going to come from? I don't know. They better bag up the money. Oh, that's right. They can go to DPI and get it, right? Nah, they already owe them how much millions of dollars? Yeah. All I can say is you need a restructure, and next time they ask for money, just say no.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The Truth app is home for all the Milwaukee Panther content you would want.
He'll dart baseline, and he will tomahawk it home with his right hand.
From conversations on the airwaves.
We're going to defend every board up the floor and every bounce and every pass. And we've got good depth, and you have to have good depth for the way we play.
To game highlights.
At the top, rises for three over Young and buries it.
Find The Roar on the Truth app, Apple, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts to keep up with Panthers hoops.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Make history at the amazing 10th annual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball on March 29th. Join Mayor Cavalier Johnson for an unforgettable evening that will transform lives. Every dollar raised helps promising local students achieve their college dreams through vital scholarships. This premier gala doesn't just celebrate our community, it builds future leaders. Be a part of Milwaukee's most meaningful social event of the year. Reserve your place now at uncf.org/MMB. That is uncf.org/MMB.
Now is the perfect time to join the Nextdoor family. Whether you're a parent seeking the best for your child or a professional ready to make a difference. At Nextdoor, children thrive in small classrooms with 2 teachers, exploring art, music, and STEAM. With special needs support, family resources, and kindergarten readiness, every child gets the attention they deserve. And they're also hiring. Enjoy competitive pay, great benefits, and opportunities for personal and professional growth in a fun, welcoming culture. Make a real impact in the community. Join Nextdoor today, where every child, every family, and every team member matters.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. It's been great being here. I missed y'all. I was gone. I missed y'all. But I was busy too, so I had to get a lot of work done. Now this week, I'm going to just kind of take it easy and chill and kind of go through and do nothing. And just sit here and talk to you and let you talk to me and learn and grow and expand, because that's what we did. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. The Unfiltered Truth is up right after Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. So make sure you hang around with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris, little old me. So make sure you hang out and check it out. I'll see you on tomorrow. God bless. Take care. Thank you, DJ Brother Z. Appreciate you. And in the immortal words of me, I'm out.